Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. It's January 1st, 2025, as I'm recording this, if you're watching this in the future. But Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year's Eve and, holiday in general. And I hope 2025 is amazing to you. I hope you get everything you want out of the year. Let me know what your guys' New Year's resolutions are in the comments. I personally don't have any New Year's resolutions because I'm trash. But let me know what your guys' are. But today's story time is kind of New Year's themed. Not really, but kinda. This story time I'm about to tell actually takes place like 2 days after New Year's, quite a long time ago. But this story time, it's really one of those stories where I'm like, damn, that was lucky. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like on the video if you do, and also stream my new song. First link in the description. Out now. But yeah, let's jump into it. So today's story time all takes place January 3rd, 2015. I was 16 years old at this time, and when I was 16, I'd say that was like my peak kind of like misbehaving era. I was just, a teenager getting into trouble, not being the best kid. Don't be like me when I was 16. But around this time was when I started getting into abandoned exploration. I've talked about that a lot on this channel. I used to be really into exploring abandoned buildings. Still kind of am. I might actually be checking out a place this Friday, and I might be vlogging it. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, when I was a kid, like teenager to be specific, I was really into, exploring abandoned places, and this was the beginning of that era, I would say. Now, this all starts off like a normal day back then. I was actually staying at one of my friend's houses. We'll just call him Steven. The school I was going to at the time had like a New Year's break or something, so I didn't have school for a little bit. So I was staying at Steven's house throughout that. And this was one of the last days we had it, I believe. It was a Saturday, so we had to go back to school on Monday. So this was my last day staying there, right? And we wanted to do something pretty big, pretty crazy. And Steven was like a year older than I was. He was 17. And he had been doing the abandoned exploration thing for a little bit now. And he could drive. And he had this idea to go check out this new building he hadn't seen before. Now, it was an abandoned bank. Yeah, it used to be a bank. Apparently, it was a huge building, really cool. Apparently, it was sick, right? He was showing me photos of it online of like, pictures of it and stuff from friends of his that have went in there before. And it looked pretty crazy. Well, we didn't really want to go alone because it was a big building and just me and Steven. That'd still be pretty creepy. We would feel like we didn't have enough people. So we started hitting up some friends of ours. We both texted like a couple friends of ours, and literally both of them were down. So that was great. Within like an hour, both of those friends came over to spend the night. So now that we had a group of 4, we were ready to do the exploration. We were ready to go check out this abandoned building and explore it. But the problem was, we had to wait till nighttime. So yeah, we just ended up hanging out at the mall for a little bit and getting dinner and then going back to Steven's house for a little bit. And then finally, it was time. Steven's parents had just went to bed. It was late enough to go check out the building, and we all hopped in Steven's car and started our journey to this abandoned bank. And it was pretty far away. It was like 45 to an hour, I think, drive. That's not the furthest we've ever traveled to explore an abandoned building before, but it was still further than I thought it was going to be. But I knew it was going to be worth it. I knew it was going to be sick. And when we got there, yeah, this place was fucking huge. Like, the pictures did not do it justice. It was giant. Now, as soon as we arrived at the building, we got out and went into Steven's trunk because he had some flashlights in there for us to, see the place at night. And yeah, we went in there, grabbed the flashlights. And then right after that, we started walking over to the building to climb through one of the windows and get in. Steven told me that it was going to be a really easy entry. He said there was a window in the back of the building that was like just completely busted out and you could just crawl right through it. But upon arriving to the back of the building where that window was, we discovered that they had recently boarded that window up. So our way in was no longer our way in. We had to come up with a plan B. We had to find another way in. So that's what we did. We started exploring the whole exterior of the building, trying to find a window or something that's open or like busted out. And we were not having any luck. I couldn't find shit. And most of my friends couldn't find shit either. Until about 5 or 10 minutes later, I hear Steven yell, "Yo guys, over here." And we run over, and we see like a busted out, like really thin, narrow, like window or something. And it led to the basement of this building. Now, upon seeing that, I was like, bro, there's no way in hell we're all fitting through that. And I really did believe that. I was like, bro, there's no way we're going to. And Steven's like, well, we should try, man, because we don't really have any other way in. I'm like, all right, well, who wants to go first? He's like, you should, you're the skinniest. And I was like, bro, what if I get in there and like you guys can't get in through this way and I'm just stuck in there alone? He's like, you won't be stuck, just crawl back out. I'm like, bro, what if there's like a drop off in there and I can't climb up to this window? He's like, dude, just try getting in. I'm like, all right, man. So I got down on my back and I like slithered in through this window and I got in. I got in actually relatively easily. But my fear was real. My fear was confirmed because after I got into that window and I dropped down onto the ground in the basement, I was right. It was like an 8-foot drop. So like I couldn't get back out through that window. I was just in there now. The only way I could have gotten back out through that window that I came in from was if I found like a ladder or like, something to stack up to climb on and then get out. And I'm not gonna lie, this basement was completely empty. So there was nothing to stack up to like get out through that window. So I yelled to them. I was like, yo guys, this window, we're not gonna be able to get out from it. We're gonna have to find somewhere else. And Steven's like, all right, man, all good. I'm gonna try getting in now. So he got down on his back. He tried slithering through the window. Unfortunately, Steven couldn't fit. Then my other friend tried to get in through that window. He didn't fit either. Then my last friend tried to get in through that window. He fit. So it was me and my one buddy, and then my other two friends, Steven and the other one, they were outside. So we had to go find another way in for them. So that's what we did. We walked upstairs to like the first floor, and we found one of the windows that was boarded up, but not boarded up very well. And we were kind of able to just like push it out, and it like fell right off. And yeah, they climbed in through that window. And after that, we went in the building and we started exploring. Now let me say, this building was sick. It was really cool. To this day, one of the coolest abandoned buildings I've ever explored. And for the most part, this exploration went really well. It wasn't until the end where everything fell apart. So we ended up exploring this building for about 20 or 30 minutes with no problems. And we got through most of the floors with no issue. But on the first floor, there was an old bank vault that we noticed within like 15 minutes of being there. But we decided we were going to save that for last to explore, because that was going to be the coolest part of the whole exploration, right? So yeah, me and all my friends agreed, like, yeah, we'll explore that when we're done with the rest of the building. So yeah, we explored the rest of the building, no problems. And then it was time to explore the bank vault, right? That was the last piece of the puzzle. That was the last thing we were going to be doing. So that's what we did. We entered the bank vault. It was already open. Like the wheel was turned. It wasn't like locked, shut or anything. We just had to open it a little bit. So that's what we did. And then we walked in there. And I'm not going to lie. It was pretty, not that cool, right? It was kind of a disappointment. I thought we were going to walk in there and see a ginormous abandoned bank vault that had old money all over the place or something. And we opened it and it was just kind of a dingy, small little room with nothing really in there. I had a feeling we weren't going to see any money or anything because it's an abandoned bank and I don't think they're going to leave a bunch of money behind. But I thought it would have been cool to see $1 or $2 on the ground or something, right? Give it that kind of abandoned feel. But nah, there was nothing in there. Now after this, we kind of just walked around the main floor for a little bit, maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. And then we decided okay, we explored the whole building. Time to go. So we started walking back to that room that my two other friends came in from, that window that we popped out, because we just decided that'd be the easiest way to get out too. So we started walking back to that room, and upon entering that room and looking out that window, the window we were about to, leave the building from, we realized that we were fucked. There was cop cars all over the place. I'm not talking one cop car, 2 cop car, 3, 4, there was 9 or 10 cop cars surrounding this building. And the cops are just outside looking around the windows and stuff. And there's a cop right in front of the window that we were about to leave from. And he sees us through it and he makes eye contact with us. And he goes, "Come on out, boys. Come on." Now, after the cop says this, Steven whispers in my ear, he's like, "Yo, let's run." I'm like, "Bro, what? No." Because we really couldn't do that. If we turned around and we ran, where were we going to go? We were in an abandoned building that was fucking surrounded by the police. We couldn't leave. So yeah, I told Steven no, and everybody else kind of nodded their head in agreement with me. And yeah, we climbed out the window, and the cops proceeded to put us in handcuffs and sit us down in a line on the curb. Now, after they sat us all down in handcuffs, one of the other police officers walked up to us, and he was like, "Guys, what are you doing in there? Why are you going in this building?" And we all just kind of looked at each other in silence, kind of wondering who was going to talk. And Steven speaks up. He's like, "Oh, we were just exploring this building. We weren't vandalizing it or anything. We weren't messing anything up in there. We were literally just curious of what it looked like inside. We just exploring these types of things. We're not here to do anything wrong." And the cop goes, "You know it's an abandoned bank, right? Were you looking for some money or something?" And we all nodded our head no, in sync. And the cop goes, "Really? Because the bank vault silent alarm went off. The owner called us. This place has new ownership. They're trying to repurpose it into something else." So yeah, this abandoned bank had a silent alarm in the bank vault. So, I guess we triggered that and that's why the cops came. I don't think they had any alarms anywhere else based on what the cop was saying. So we probably could have explored the whole thing and then just left the bank vault alone and been fine. But I guess as soon as that bank vault detected movement in there, we were screwed. So anyway, the cops questioned us for about, 30 or so minutes. And then they ended up calling all of our parents. And our parents had to come pick us up one by one. And when I tell you my mom was pissed, she was pretty upset with me for doing that. Yeah, your boy got grounded. I couldn't see those friends for a long time. Shit sucked. I lost my phone. She took my phone away. But you know what? It could have been a million times worse. We could have all went to jail. Could have gotten hit with trespassing charges. Like, we got pretty lucky in the grand scheme of things. But getting grounded did suck. I got grounded for like a good month, so that sucked. But to this day, this is one of the craziest abandoned exploration stories I have, in my opinion, just because of the sole amount of cops that showed up. I really think that they thought that we were in there trying to find old money and rob the place, but obviously we weren't doing that. Like I said earlier, it would have been cool to find some old money on the ground, but I wasn't trying to find a come up or $1 million. I literally just thought it'd be cool to see an old, worn out dollar bill on the ground or something to take a photo of. I wasn't trying to rob this place. But yeah, guys, in the end, we got really, really lucky. Ended up making it out of the situation okay. Just got grounded. That was pretty much it. But yeah, moral of the story is don't be like 16-year-old me. I wasn't the smartest. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. Kind of a New Year's story time because it took place shortly after New Year's. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I will see you all later. Peace.
You gotta know your place. Bad bitches, pull up on me. I got 2 switches, 20 gauge rounds. Hit you up like it's nutrition. I've risen. Everything came to fruition. Stop the jealous talking on your girls. Mine, I might hit it. I heard my name is in your mouth. Yeah, I really doubt you want me talking back, cause I could really air it out.